Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm John Gordon Dodge, and I was born in 1844, and I died in 1915. I was buried here with my lovely first wife, Maria Travis, and my second wife, Lucy Colby. Her parents are also buried here with us on this plot. I grew up in Goffstown. I went to local one-room schoolhouses, and I was the youngest of 7 children. And we lived on the Uncanunic Mountain, just beyond the Uncanunic Mountain perennials on the right. We had 500 acres of land at one time. My great-great-grandfather moved here in the late 1600s, and we farmed the land, we raised animals, and we made a living that way. As a youngster, I worked on the farm, and we were a very productive family. As time went on, I graduated college, and I became involved in the community. I saw the need for a better water system for the town of Goffstown. At that time, most homes simply had wells they pumped from, and they still do today. But as far as the downtown, buildings were burning left and right. There was just not enough water to supply the fire department with the water they needed. I looked at the Uncanunic Mountains, which I can still see from my gravestone today, as to my left, and I saw with the height of the mountains, we could bring water down the mountain with gravity fed. I approached the town of Goffstown with my idea of building a reservoir up on the Uncanunic Mountain. Everybody thought it was a great idea, and eventually we formed a committee, and I was the treasurer of that committee, and many decisions were made. I secured easements, the purchase of the land. In 1891, construction began of Goffstown's very first water reservoir. We had over 3 miles of 12-inch pipe that was brought down from the reservoir into the village to supply Goffstown with its water source. When that was complete, we became one of the first local communities to have fire hydrants, where the fire department could actually hook onto and extinguish fires as needed. So it was a great time. I was real proud of that. And it was a turning point in Goffstown's civilization. As time went on, I became a business partner with Charles Barnard. A lot of folks know and recognize the name. He bestowed the property for Barnard's Playground for the town of Goffstown. Charles and I were business partners. We were in the lumber business, and we also sold apples and blueberries. One of our proudest times during that era was we were asked to ship a cargo of apples to the Queen of England. We shipped it out of by freight train from Depot Street in Goffstown. We had to install small wood-burning stoves inside the cargo, the train cargo, to keep the temperatures so the apples wouldn't freeze. So it was a great opportunity for us, and we took advantage of it. I also sold Ginto, which was a farmer's fertilizer. It shipped out of Pennsylvania. My uncle owned the Ginto factory, and I would sell it for $26 a ton, and I made $5 on every ton I sold, and he paid the shipping. So that was a great opportunity for me at that time. As time went on, business opportunities arose, and you may wonder how I ended up here with a front row lot on the cemetery. I got a corner lot, corner of Church Street and Mass Road. Little do people know that I actually owned Westlawn Cemetery in the very beginning. I purchased this land. It wasn't this much acreage. It was about 1/3 of this. I purchased it, and I would sell tombstone and your plot for $5. So it was a great opportunity. For $12.50 you could get a family plot like I'm standing on, I have some great neighbors to this day. I have Robert Shirley to my left, who married Margaret Dodge, so they are family. They are to my left. In front of me I have the Sumner family. That was Otis Sumner. They owned and operated the local drugstore. And over to my right I have the great family of the Hoyts, Zeba and Mary. So I had a great life living in Goffstown, and I've had a great life in my cemetery as it is today. The town of Goffstown eventually bought the land from me, and it became a public cemetery at that time. Well, that's all for now. I hope you learned a little something today, and I hope you'll return back someday.